What if I told you that ripping a major city roadway away would actually solve your traffic jam, make your city cooler and boost your economy? Would you believe me? Well, that sounds too good to be true, right? Well, let me introduce you to the Cheonggyecheon, a stream that did all of that and more. It may be difficult to imagine right now, but everything you see around me was once a highway choking on traffic and smog. Today, it's a breath of fresh air in the 7th most competitive city in the world. A miracle, maybe, but one that got carefully engineered.
This entire restoration started in 2003 and completed in 2005. The project was pushed by then Mayor Lee Myung-bak, who later became the president of South Korea. The need was pretty urgent. The overpass that stood here was deteriorating and causing traffic congestion. Plus, the neglected stream below was almost an open sewer and a public health concern. So the city made the bold decision to remove the 5.6-kilometer elevated highway altogether.
With a budget of approximately $384 million, this was a sizable project.
It involved extensive engineering work, excavating down to the original stream, constructing new water channels and adding public spaces.
They also let down 20 new bridges, integrated walkways and planted over 8,000 trees and plants. All this work was achieved in a record time of 2 years, transforming a forgotten stream into an urban thriving oasis. But for what result? Let's look into the numbers.
Did you know this project increased biodiversity by an amazing 15.1%? According to a study by Seoul National University, this isn't just a river, it's an urban melting pot for plant and animal species.
The restored stream also has a positive temperature impact, as it reduces the urban heat island effect. Studies showed a drop of up to 5.9 degrees in summer temperatures around the stream. It's somewhat like nature's own air conditioning. But wait! If this once was a highway, wouldn't have traffic consequences to remove it?
Well, when the project first launched, that was a concern. Planners were nervous about chaos, but the Seoul Institute found that car use dropped by a staggering 2.3%.
What this shows is that people adapt, and so does the public transport system. And quite logically, the benefits of turning a highway into a public urban river don't stop there.
A study from the University of Seoul found property values near Cheonggyecheon jumped by 30 to 50%, which translates into a $2.8 billion increase in property value alone.
Jackpot! And if that doesn't convince you that investing in water is a clever move, I don't know what will. Beyond money, you probably notice how crowded that place is around me, and we are early on a Sunday morning. It is the Instagrammable place to be, or probably in my case, the YouTubeable place to be?
It's also a breath of fresh air for democracy, as local studies found it's even become a stage for small-scale public protests. Again, a real melting pot. Now, all of that is great, but like you,
I like money!
And as hinted to with property value, this project slams it out of the park. A whopping $384 million of economic benefits were clocked in just 2 years after the completion of the restoration project.
Plus, according to the environmental impact assessment, it's cutting air pollutions left and right, which positively impacts health costs and the livability of the city in the long run. Kind of the poster child of the triple bottom line. Now, yes, I hear my former hydroecology professor sobbing in a portion of my head. It is true that the Cheonggyecheon water is not entirely self-sustaining, it is pumped from the Han River. So technically we're looking at a glorified elongated fountain more than a natural river stream. Style over substance? Perhaps, but it's hard to argue with the ecological, biodiversity, social and economic benefits of that glorified fountain. So I'd say it's a trade-off many would happily make. In all cases, it's almost a blueprint of what to replicate in every local landscape. Is there a neglected canal or a dried up riverbed nearby? That could be your city's own version of a stream waiting for its glow up.
And as we've seen today, while the stream itself might not be fully natural, the ripple effect of its benefits certainly is. From reviving city spaces to catalyzing economic gains and social interaction, it set a precedent that cities worldwide can draw inspiration from.
Would the Cheonggyecheon stream qualify as a nature-based solution? In my book, yes, but if you think otherwise, I'd be happy to discuss your opinion in the comments. If you want more nature-based solutions inspirations, have a look here. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.